Hello, this is again Thai TV. My name is Hanna Esgarska, and my special guest today is Mr. Matas Maldeikis, a conservative politician and member of Parliament of Lithuania and the chairman of the Lithuanian Parliamentary Group for the relations with Taiwan. Hello, sir. It's an honor for us to have you in our TV.
Hello, hello.
Sir, Lithuania was a member of a China's 17+1 group for quite a time. Why did your country decide to pull out of this initiative?
We decided that it is not in our national interests to be in that group because we think it is in better format for us in cooperation with China is in the European Union format, as it is, not in Eastern European group, because we started to seeing that China is trying to separate European Union countries when cooperating with Eastern European. We're having one strategy in the Eastern European countries and one strategy when they are talking with Western European countries. It's bad for Lithuania, it's bad for our interests, and it's bad for European Union as it is. So we decided to pull off.
Sir, China decided to recall its ambassadors to Vilnius and to demand that Lithuania recall its ambassador from Beijing because of Lithuania's developing closer relations with Taiwan. Global Times, the mouthpiece of CCP, has said that Lithuania will pay the price for making radical moves on the Taiwan question. Do you expect any other steps from Beijing?
Might be. We think that there might be. I just have to explain that Lithuania, for the time being, didn't have any representation in Taiwan, especially economical. When we are talking, we are okay with one China policy. We're going ahead with that. We are staying in the one China policy. But we have our national interests that is related to an economical question, economical culture question that we want to have cooperation with Taiwan. And I know that Polish government have a big representation in Taiwan. They are very successful. They are doing different projects, and Lithuania don't have any. That was strange. We wanted to change that tradition. We want to open our representation in Taiwan, and we wanted Taiwan to open in our country because we see a lot of common interests, because a lot of place to cooperate, especially in high-tech sector and fintech sector, and we couldn't do that. That was very not in our interest as it is. And this is why we decided to open there. They decided to open in our country, and we see China's reaction now. It's pretty strange because a lot of European countries have ones in their countries and representation in Taiwan, but they regard us as a small country that they, can push over and show as an example to another ones. That won't go with Lithuanians. And we are people with an opinion, and we're going to stick to that, and not depending who is saying and how big is the country. We learned from the Soviet Russia that you never can cooperate and you never have find an agreement with a big country, with a totalitarian country who think they can do whatever they want. And we know we already vaccinated against this policy. So we understand what China is doing. Of course, they now recall their ambassadors back to Beijing. There might be someone or another trying to put our business that works in China some problems for them. But in the long run, I am sure that seeing that a lot of countries have representations in Taiwan and Taiwanese in different countries, I think they will come down, understand that it's not in nobody is interested to do that, and that this policy won't work with Lithuanians. They just put, we already vaccinated. We already see a lot of years the Russian doing that with our country. When we have some policy on Russia, the commercial units that work in Russia always saw that, let's say, milk is bad, apples is bad, as in your case, and everything. We already saw that. we are not going to be intimidated against those.
Sir, we wanted to express our admiration for the attitude of the government of Lithuania, and that is why the editor-in-chief of Against the Thai TV, Pastor Paweł Chojecki, has said a few words to you and to the whole government of Lithuania, and I would like to show these words to you right now.
W imieniu widzów telewizji Idź Pod Prąd chciałem przekazać panu posłowi wielkie podziękowania, a także całemu rządowi litewskiemu za jasne, jednoznaczne stanie po stronie niepodległego Tajwanu. Tajwan niepodległy to szczególna sprawa dla całego świata. Szczególnie my, Polacy i Litwini, powinniśmy o tym pamiętać i jasno zabierać głos, ponieważ przeżyliśmy okropieństwa, okupację komunistycznej Rosji. Dzisiaj to samo zagraża niepodległemu Tajwanowi. Chciałbym, żeby pomimo tego, że rząd w Warszawie w rzeczywistości dzisiaj wspiera interesy komunistycznych Chin tutaj w obszarze Międzymorza, chciałbym, żeby zarówno Litwini, jak i Polacy mieszkający na Litwie wiedzieli, że nie wszyscy Polacy zgadzają się ze zdradą ideałów Solidarności, że są takie środowiska jak Idź Pod Prąd, które jasno mówią: wolny Hongkong, wolny Tajwan i precz z komunistycznymi Chinami. Wielki szacun, wielkie gratulacje, brawo Litwa!
Thank you for this opinion. It's really important for Lithuania to know that Polish is with us in this question. They understand what we are doing because this is what the neighbors for. We both understand. We both already saw what Russia is doing. We know all the tricks. Chinese don't learn it from their books. They are learning these tricks from Russia now, from the Soviet Russia. So when they are doing some tricks in our spreading propaganda, doing something with our firms walking there or there, we already did that. We already are vaccinated against this policy. So from my parliament, I can say from the group of relationship with Taiwan, thank you very much to the Polish people who understand, who supports, who understands that it's not only in cause of Lithuania and it's not only in cause of Polish, it's in cause of the Western democracy, and it is liberal democracy as it is, because when we are talking about foreign policy, it's always about domino effect. Supporting Taiwan, when you are supporting democratic Taiwan against China, what you are doing, it's in your interest. It's in our interest to support Taiwan, to support democratic Russia, to support democratic Belarus. Because in the long run, those countries, what we are seeing in the world is the authoritarian regime is becoming bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger, in a sense. So if we are helping democratic, whatever it is, in Taiwan, in Belarus, in Russia, we are helping in the long run ourselves, because helping democracy, it helps democracy in our countries in the long run. Because it will be very hard to live in a world where Russia, China, or different not democratical countries rule. This is what we are talking about here.
Thank you, sir, so much for your words. I would like to move a little bit to the subject of the COVID-19 pandemic. We would also like to express our admiration to you for donating some vaccines to Taiwan. And it seems that one lesson we should draw from the pandemic is that cooperating with Taiwan and allowing a bigger Taiwan's presence on the international level could only be beneficial. And what benefits do you see from closer cooperation with Taiwan?
They are one of the biggest and strongest in technologies. United States, you can imagine, United States depend on Taiwan. And when I can tell you a little secret, I don't know if your viewers know that, one of the biggest security issues United States have in regards with Taiwan, not to mention being the sea power and everything, is that Taiwan has a lot of technologies that United States needs. and the whole world needs, semiconductors and everything. And the technologies that Taiwan have is very important for the whole democratic world, for the whole world. And not being that in China's hands, it's in all world's interest, believe me. So this is why it's in our interest, and as I already mentioned, in helping the democracies around the world is the same interest in Lithuania, Polish country, and the whole European Union and United States, because in the long run, it's always about us in the future that we will not in the long future that we will see. It will be about democracies being against authoritarian regime, very, very strict. So we must help democratic regime. This is why we sent to Taiwanese, not a big number, 20,000 vaccines, but we just wanted to show that the country that can't buy vaccines anywhere because China blocks them in all ways possible not to get the vaccine and to be ill with COVID. That shows in what, that's a Bolshevik school books, what kind of level is that? They are blocking to help the people. We want to show that we with those vaccines that we are not afraid. We want to help democratical country.
Sir, we can see a shift in, for example, Americans' attitude towards China, mainly because of disapproval of China's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic and fears triggered by China's economic rise. Has the perception of China among the people of Lithuania has been worsening?
Yeah, of course. In the last few years, especially because more and more information we are very, as you know, Lithuania is very vaccinated against Russia propaganda, against what is Russia doing. We know all the tricks they are using. And China was like a little far away. We didn't know what's going on there. It's like we don't know what's going on there. And last few years that changed. Our security agencies told that China very much operating in Lithuania. They are collecting data. They want to change our policy perception regards China, regards communism as it is, and regards China policy in the long run. They are opening universities. They are cooperating with our universities, opening sectors to learn China and to Mandarin language. And when learning Mandarin language, you are learning ideology of China and in communist aspects. And we already saw those tricks like Russia doing in different countries. So view of our people regarding China is changing very rapidly. We more and more see what it is all about and where it is will be going. So we are starting to be vaccinated against those China policy also. Also, we see that China and Russia cooperates very much in all those questions. When we are talking about, let's say, it wasn't a surprise that what happened, that they recalled the ambassador the day that there was in Lithuania a lot of fuzz regarding the vaccination process and everything. And the same day we have a cyber attack from Russia against our institution where a lot of documents, secretive document was stolen. So everything is really coordinated between Russia and China regarding those countries like Lithuania. And I'm sure the same stories with Poland and in different countries in Europe.
Poland seems to understand very well the threats coming from Russia. However, in terms of China, there is very little talking about those threats, despite, for example, the growing deficit in the trade with China and the trial going on right now in Poland of Huawei ex-director accused of spying for China. In Poland, some politicians and so-called China experts try to convince the public opinion that there is no solid cooperation with China and Russia in the region. How do you see this, again, Beijing-Moscow cooperation in this regard?
I can assure you that those experts is dead wrong. Russia and China really much cooperation, have a big cooperation in this region. Belarus security services work with Russian ones. And Kremlin works with Beijing very closely in the security question. regarding this region. They are really coordinating what's going on here. They're changing information, what's going on there, and they have a common strategy against Lithuania, Baltic states, Polish, and and this region, Visegrad countries, regarding what they will be doing in this region. They're coordinating it very much.
Sir, and my last question to you today. Under Merkel's rule, Germany pushed for the EU-China investment agreement to be approved as soon as possible. But Angela Merkel will be out of office very soon. Do you expect this may bring a change to EU's policy towards China and Taiwan?
What we are seeing in European Parliament, the mood that we are seeing in European Parliament, in more and more European countries is starting to understand what's going on there. We can imagine it's 21st century. We have 1 million people in concentration camps in China. 1 million persons in concentration camps as of today. That's horrible. It's the 21st century. We have those people, and we are talking about cooperation and investment. That's not gonna work in my view. What I'm seeing, the mood in European Parliament, they have to ratify the treaty. I don't see European Parliament ratifying the treaty, and I don't think it will be very good. Will go smoothly in the different European capitals. So I don't think that we'll see a big new steps regarding the cooperation, European countries' cooperation with China. In the long run, we will see less and less of that because countries starting to understand what's going on. And of course, China will try to, as Russia always did, they are taking that from a playbook. They will try to take all the countries by separate, not as by one region, a European Union, Visegrad countries or something. They will try to take one country step by step, piece by piece. We should cooperate in Lithuania with Poland, Lithuania in Visegrad, with Visegrad countries and everything to stand against that because it's a threat for all of us.
Sir, thank you very much for this interview. Thank you for what your government is doing, and also special thanks to Hannah Shen, our correspondent living in Taiwan. So thank you, sir, again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We wish you all the best. This is Hanna Jazgarska against the Thai TV. See you soon.